So good afternoon everyone. My name is Naresh Soni and you are watching Drishti IAS. In this live session, we will be talking about the Indian Express newspaper. Other than that, when you are looking at this thumbnail over here, you will be seeing that UPSC Prelims PYQ analysis series has been started from 15th of February and we are coming, every day a video is being uploaded at 9 p.m. in the evening. So in this series, we are actually covering the PYQs of last 6 years, that is 2019 to 2024, wherein we'll be going for the detailed explanation, etc, and we will also be telling you some kind of elimination techniques or when you have to attempt some question and you don't know how to approach these questions. So in that case you will be learning some ways you can approach the question or encounter the question. So that particular series will be quite fruitful for your prelims examination. Okay, so let's move further. Now we'll be talking about some of the important articles over here, that we will be discussing article 101 clause 4. Okay, so recently there was this issue of absence of MPs from the parliament, and considering that there was this provision which is given in article 101 clause 4. When we talk about article 101, 101 is talking about some kind of disqualifications. Okay, so herein we'll be discussing 101, we'll be discussing the different aspect of 101, like clause 1 to clause 4, then we'll be going for the 102, 103, we'll be discussing that what these articles are. Okay, coming to the next one, we will be talking about the Lokpal versus judges or the judiciary. Recently, there was this judgment which has been given by the Lokpal, and Supreme Court has suo motu taken the cognizance of that particular thing, and ultimately Supreme Court has said that they will be hearing the matter in the upcoming days. But the thing is, what is the issue over here? We'll be discussing that. What is the point of contention between the Lokpal and the judiciary? Coming to the next one, donkey route in Europe. When we talk about the donkey routes, these are, you can say, routes for the illegal immigrants which are entering into USA in some way or other. So basically, earlier there was a traditional route which was there, which was going through the South America, and then you must have heard about the Darien Gap and the Panama, etc. Then Mexico. This was the traditional route, but recently it has been seen that the people are using this European route as well. So we'll be going through that particular route as well. Why is that important for you? Because obviously when we talk about these routes, there are certain locations which can be important, that can be asked in the examination. So we'll be talking about that. We'll be looking at the maps. Coming to the PYQ of the day part, here we'll be discussing one PYQ, geography through map. Here we'll be talking about another aspect from the world geography. Then we have already discussed these exam articles, and in the end there will be practice question for you, so that we will be saying. Okay, so let's start our discussion over here. Consider the following: cashews, papaya, red sandals. How many of the above trees are actually native to India? Okay, so if you talk about these, now problem is that when we talk about the some kind of plants and animals, we don't know what kind of questions is UPSC asking. But the thing is, when we talk about cashews, papaya, and red sandals, these are some of the things which is basically important. Okay, so considering these three things which has been asked by UPSC, now it is our duty to make sure that we know about three of them, because this time they only mention the name. There might be a chance that they might ask you in detail something. Okay, now cashew, papaya, and red sanders. We know that there is this red sanders, okay, which is found in India. Okay, when we talk about the, you can say, southern part of our country, we have these you can say places where we have the red sanders. Okay, now here cashews, they are native to the tropical regions of Brazil. Okay, it was first discovered by Europeans in Brazil, and then they have bought in India. Okay, so Portuguese basically bought the cashews in India. You know that Goa is the place where you will be finding various, you can say, the prominent varieties of cashews over there. Okay, so these are quite famous over there. That is Goa ka kaju. Okay, so that is quite famous. So here you can see that is, grown in Goa. So Portuguese has bought that in India in 1560s. Now coming to the next one, that is papaya. Papaya cultivation has its origin in the South Mexico or the Mexico region or the Costa Rica region. That is basically a Central American region. Okay, the papaya first appeared in Dominican Republic and the Panama in the early 16th century, and after that they have been brought to India. This is not native to India. So when we talk about the cashews and the, you can say, papaya, these are not native to India. Coming to the red sanders, red sander is basically native to India. So here you can say it is native and endemic to India and can only be found in the southern part of Eastern Ghats. Okay, so that is something which is important, that can only be found over here. Okay, so that is there. Now here option A is the right answer, that is only one, because we have seen that these two are not, and red sanders is the only you can say variety which is found in India, which is native to India. Okay, now it is your duty to read about all these things and know that who has bought what in India. Okay, so that is there. Other than that, you can also learn about potato, tomato, chili, paper. Okay, so all, not pepper, I'm talking about paper. Okay, that is your when you talk about the kagaj or paper, that is the paper. Okay, so these things you can go through. Now moving further, that is your, you can say, geography through maps. Here we are talking about the grasslands of the world. Okay, so here when we talk about the grasslands, grasslands are called by different names in across the world. You will be seeing that different regions, they are calling different names. Okay, so all these things are basically your you can say grasslands only. So in Russia, or you can say the Asian side of Russia, here these are called as steppes. Okay, coming to the next one, here in Manchuria, that is called as Manchuria grassland, normal grassland which is there. Okay, here these are called as the Australian savannas. Okay, and when we talk about the southern part of Australia, or you can say southeastern part of Australia, these are called as downs. Okay, so here we have steppes, Manchurian grassland, Australian savanna, and downs. These you should remember. Coming to the next one, when we talk about the African part. Okay, so here in Africa it is called as African savanna. We have seen these savannas are also similar situations are there, so that is why it is called as African savanna. These are called as Australian savanna. Okay, now in the southern part of African continent, you will be finding velds. Okay, so that is there. Similarly, like we find velds in the southern part of Africa, we find pampas in the southern part of South America. Okay, so that is there. Campos, that is mostly in the areas of Brazil, you will be finding campos. Okay, then here Llanos, which is there in the, you can say, northern part of the South America. Coming to the next one, in when we talk about the North American continent, we have prairies. Okay, mostly you will be finding in the southern part of Canada, and in the, you can say, in the western part of America, USA. That is, these are found. So prairies, then Llanos, Campos, Pampas, these are found in the American continents. When we talk about the African continent, African savanna and velds are found. Other than that, here in Asia, we have steppes and Manchurian grasslands, and here pushtas. These are there in the Mediterranean region, and here you can say Australian savanna and the Don. So all these names are basically your grasslands. They can ask you, match the following kind of question over here. They can simply put, one side the name of the grasslands and which place they are found. Okay, so that is about it. Now let's move further and start with the these are the facts which has been given over here with respect to the grasslands. Two main kind of grasslands are there. One is tropical grassland and second is your temperate grasslands. Tropical grasslands are those which are found in the tropics, these regions. When we talk about this region here, these are the places where you will be finding the tropical grasslands. And then the temperate ones, which are, you can say, this light green patches are your temperate grasslands. Okay, here these are savannas and these are temperates. Okay, now here you can see, so examples of the temperate grasslands include Eurasian steppes, prairies, Argentine pampas. Tropical grasslands include the savannas, hot savannas, sub-Saharan Africa, and the northern Australia, which we have already seen. Tropical grasslands are having dry and the wet seasons and remain warm all the time because these are tropical. So obviously temperature is high over here, 25 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius. When we talk about the temperate grasslands, so they have cold winters and warm summers with some rain. So below 0 degree, or the winters, in the winters it can see below 0 degree, or in the summers it can go up to 32 degrees Celsius in the summers. Okay, wildfires are vital for the grasslands existence. They prevent woody plants from spreading and enables the grasslands to regrow thicker and healthier. Okay, so this is about your grasslands. Now we can move further. Before that, I would like to tell you that we are offering ISGS foundation course for prelims as well as mains at our new center, that is Noida sector 15. Batches will be available in offline mode. For English medium, admissions are open. For Hindi medium, classes are starting, or the batch is starting from 21st of February, 11:30 am. So you can go through this. Address is given over here. You can directly visit the center, or you can call us on 87501 87501 and get yourself enrolled. Okay. Now let's move further and start with the first part of the discussion, that is Article 101 Clause 4. Okay, now here you can see constitutional provision by which an MP may be asked to vacate the seat in case of prolonged absence from the parliament. Now, if a person or if an MP is absent from the parliament for more than 60 days, now that particular seat from where he is having the representation, from there they actually, the, you can say, the house might consider that particular seat vacant. Okay, might again, okay, not compulsorily, but they may go for declaration of that particular seat as vacant. So automatically it will not happen. The house has to, you can say, consider that. Okay, so that is there. Now why it is in news, that is not very much important, because there is this person whose name is basically MP Amritpal Singh. He has contested election from the jail and he won, and after that he is been under the detention and he could not attend the many session, and considering that there are nearly 50 days absent has already been there. So this particular discourse has come into picture, that people are talking about this vacancy of the seat. Okay, so that is why it was there. Now this news has been given in the first paragraph, so we will not go into that. We will be talking about the provision. If for a period of 60 days a member of either house of the parliament is without permission of the house absent from the all meetings thereof, the house may declare his seat vacant. Again, the word used over here is may. Okay, so they can do it, they cannot. In the past there has no incidents like that. It has not been like that, that they have declared any seat vacant because of the absence. That has not happened till now. So but the provision says that if someone is without any notice absent for 60 days, house may declare that particular seat as vacant, and then there will be fresh elections. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next part, that is article 101 clause 4 says the 60 days, however, do not account for any period during which the house is prorogued or is adjourned for more than 4 consecutive days. Okay, now if the house is adjourned, if house is adjourned or prorogued, in such case, and I'm telling you that this particular thing is more than 4 days consecutively, in that case, that particular time period for which house is adjourned or the prorogue, that particular time period will not be count as in the 60 days over here. Okay, so let's say if there is a person who has been absent for 30 days, and then after that the house was basically prorogued for, like, you can say 10 days. Okay, or you can say house was adjourned for 10 days, and then next time they have actually came together, or I would suggest that they have actually adjourned it for like 40 days. Okay, now 30 days and 40 days total, it is 70 days, and that person was not there in the house for 70 days. But the thing is, these 40 days will not be count. Okay, so what will be count over here is that 30 days, and after that if he is absent for another 30 days, then only that particular seat will be considerable for the vacancy. Okay, so that is there. So if the house is adjourned, or you can say prorogued for more than for 4 days, in that case that particular time will be deducted from the 60 days. So that is there. Coming to the next part, the period of absence is only calculated based on the actual sitting of the parliament, that the time parliament has actually set for the session. Okay, does not recall any single incidence under which under the article 101 clause 4 that vacancy has been done in the past. So that is not the case as of now. Considering the next one, MP can seek leave. Now if there is a person and there are some conditions which are compelling him not to attend the session, in such case they can apply for the leave. Okay, article 101 clause 4 is without permission of the house for long absences, for long absence without permission of the house. Here you can say they have said that if for a period of 60 days a member of the either house of parliament is without permission of the house is absent, but if you are taking the permission, then it is fine. Okay, so here article 101 clause 4 is without permission of the house for long absences, MPs can write to the committee on the absence of members from the sitting of the house. There is a committee, and that committee will be considering it. The committee makes recommendation on each leave application, which are to be ratified by the house of whatever house they are in, or the house concerned, they have to ratify it. Okay, past leave application reports list illness, because of some conditions. It can be illness, it can be because you are in the jail. All these things can be considered. Illness of self or the relatives can be considered over here. Okay, so that is about the article 101 clause 4 of the Indian constitution. Now let's come to the broader discussions over here. Vacation of the seats, article 101. There are different parameters which are there. In the clause 1, it has said that the dual membership in the parliament prohibits. Okay, so basically what is the thing is, if you are member of two houses, you cannot be a member of two houses, you have to vacate one seat over here. So let's see, article 101 clause 1 says a person cannot be member of both houses of the parliament, that is Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Parliament must enact a law for vacating one seat if a person is chosen both. Okay, so basically there should be one thing, that he can be member of one house only. Coming to the next one, conflict between the parliament and the state legislature. So that is the clause 2, that is saying that article 101 clause 2, a person cannot be a member of both parliament and the state legislature. Here he cannot be member of Lok Sabha as well as Rajya Sabha. So here similarly he cannot be member of the parliament as well as the state legislature. So he had to vacate one seat. So if elected to both, they must resign from one within the specified period. Okay, specified period is as per the president's rule that is there. So in the specified period they have to vacate one. Okay, if no resignation is given, the parliamentary seat automatically becomes the vacant. Okay, so basically what will happen is that if you are member of both parliament as well as the state legislature, if you have not given the resignation within the particular period of time, then parliament seat will be considered vacant. You will be the member of the state assembly, so you will be an MLA. Okay, so basically the thing over here is that if you are elected as MP as well as MLA, so you have to vacate one seat. If you have gone for vacation or the resignation from the MLA seat, you will stay MP. But if you are not giving any kind of resignation, so this seat will automatically be you can say declared vacant, and you will stay as a MLA. Okay, so that is about the clause second of the article 101. Coming to the next one, disqualification and resignation clause 3, that is article 101(3)(a). A seat becomes vacant if a member becomes disqualified under article 102 clause 1 or 102 clause 2. Okay, so that is another case. We will be talking about that article 102 as well. If and then article 101 clause 3 subclause B is talking about a seat also becomes vacant if a member resigns in writing to the speaker or the chairman, and the resignation is accepted. Now it is up to speaker or the you can say chairman, or you can say the chair of the house. It is depending on them that whether they accept the resignation or not. Okay, if they accept the resignation, then that seat will be vacant. Okay, if the speaker and the chairman believes that resignation is not voluntary or not genuine, in that case they may not accept it. Okay, coming to the last part, absence without the permission. This clause we have already discussed in the full length. Okay, now coming to the next one, article 102 clause 1a says that a person shall be disqualified from being a member of the house of the parliament if he holds any office of profit. So if a person is holding any kind of office of profit, then he will be disqualified. Coming to the next one, article 103 says that if a question arises whether a member has incurred such disqualification, it shall be referred to the president's decision. Now, when we talk about the disqualification as per the constitutional article over here 101 or 102, that kind of you can say questions will be addressed to the president. Okay, the president shall obtain the election commission's opinion, and then accordingly they have to act. So basically here, when we talk about the disqualification under the constitution or article 101 or 102, in that case disqualification decision will be taken by president on the advice of the election commission. Okay, whatever advice election commission is given, president has to act accordingly. Coming to the next one, article 191 clause 1, this similar procedure when we talk about the MLAs and MLCs, that is given in the article 191 clause 1. Okay, so that is about it. Now other than that, one more thing is there. Disqualification is there from your 10th schedule, that is anti defection act, okay, or law. So considering the anti-defection, the final decision will be with the speaker or the chair of the house. Okay, and that will not be addressed to president. Okay, so that is about your disqualifications and article 101, 102. Okay, now coming to the next one, very disturbing. Supreme Court stays Lokpal decision to probe High Court judges. Now there was this order which has been passed by Lokpal on January 27th. Now this order was basically investigating into you can say jurisdiction of the High Court. Okay, High Court judges. Now the thing is, Supreme Court has said that is against the independence of the judiciary, and Supreme Court has taken the suo motu cognizance of that. Suo motu cognizance means that on its own they have taken the cognizance, and they have said that it is very disturbing that you are, you can say, attacking the independence of the High Court. Now the thing is, the Lokpal over here they are saying is that the constitution of High Court has not been done from the constitution itself. When we talk about the Supreme Court has been established by the constitution itself. Now when we talk about the High Court's establishment has been there from the colonial time. When we talk about the acts which were there 1935 or before that, the High Court has been actually having its origin from such acts. So that is why they have said that since these are from different acts, so that is under the purview of the Lokpal. Okay, but court here is saying that no, since the appointment of the judges, or you can say the independence of the judiciary, that is a basic principle of the you can say Indian constitution, or that is the basic structure of the Indian constitution. You cannot violate that. Okay, considering that, here they have said that this particular judges of the High Court and the Supreme Court will not be coming under the purview of the Lokpal. Now that has been the, you can say, overall idea, but this particular case has been there for the, you can say, kept for the upcoming hearing. So we'll be seeing what happens then. Right now issue is that there is a clash between the Lokpal and the judiciary with respect to the jurisdiction, or the, you can say, under ambit of the Lokpal, as well as the independence of the judiciary. So that is the issue over here. Now let's see legal interpretation and the argument, which I have already told you, but let's go through it. One side argues that the High Court judges are part of the constitutional structure, not mere statutory functionaries, and cannot be fall under the Lokpal's jurisdiction. That is, one side has argued about this. Okay. Now, second side is saying that since they are not part of the constitution, or the basically Lokpal is saying that the High Court has been formed not because of the constitution, but because of some other laws, and that is why they are under the purview of the Lokpal. Okay, so that is argument. I'm not telling you what is the position right now. I'm telling you what kind of argument has been put forward by the different sides. Okay. Coming to the next one, the Lokpal Act 2013 does not explicitly cover sitting High Court judge as per the interpretation. They are also saying that in the Lokpal Act, it is not mentioned that you will be having the authority over the judges of the High Court. Okay, so that is also second thing. And coming to the next one, that is Veeraswamy judgment 1991 was cited over here, which states that no criminal case can be registered against a High Court judge without the Chief Justice of India's approval. So if there is a criminal case which has to be you can say filed under or against a High Court judge or the Supreme Court judge, for that you have to take permission from the CGI. Okay, so these are some of the things which is ensuring the independence of the judiciary, and considering that, they have said that before going for the any kind of investigation of the High Court judge, you have to take the permission of CGI. Now here, what is the Lokpal's clarification? So Lokpal stated that it had only examined the jurisdictional issues. Okay, they are saying that we have only gone for the jurisdiction and not for the investigation of the High Court judge. That is one thing, and had not dwelled into the allegations over here. So they have not started the you can say investigation against the allegation. They are just looking into the jurisdiction. Okay, coming to the next one, it acknowledged that any probe in the allegation would require consultation with the Chief Justice of India. That has been the position which has been maintained under the Veeraswamy judgment. Okay, so that is about the, you can say, issue right now. Now let's see what is basically your Lokpal. Okay, so when we talk about Lokpal, Lokpal is basically to fight the corruption on in the public bodies, etc. So we have come up with the Lokpal Act, which is there. So statutory provisions are given. The Lokpal and the Lok Ayuk Act 2013 seeks to establish institution of Lokpal at the center as well as the Lok Ayuk as the state. Okay, what is the jurisdiction? So in the Lokpal, jurisdiction include Prime Minister, ministers, MP, Group A, B, C, D officers, officials at the central government. So basically, what they are talking about? They are talking about the public officers. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next one, institutions financed fully or partly by the government. So basically they are talking about the public officers and the offices. Okay, offices and institutions which are fully or partially funded by the government. Entities getting over 10 lakh annually in the foreign donation under the FCRA, that will also be part of the jurisdiction. What is the power? Authority to approve the public servants prosecution instead of the government or the relevant authority. Power of superintendence and the direction over any investigation agency including CBI for the cases referred to them by the Lokpal. So whatever cases has been referred to any investigating agency by the Lokpal, on that they have the you can say superintendent power. Incorporates provisions of attachment and the confiscation of the property of the public servant acquired by the corrupt means even while prosecution is pending. So if there is a case of corruption and someone has used corruption's money or black money to buy some kind of property, when the investigation is still going on, he is not been convicted yet, at that point of time also they can confiscate the property. Okay, or they can actually take hold of that particular property. Coming to the next one, appointment. When we talk about, so there is a selection committee. Okay, selection of chairperson and the members through the selection committee, and selection committee will be having prime minister, speaker of the Lok Sabha, leader of the largest opposition party CGI, or the sitting judge of the Supreme Court nominated by the CGI, and an eminent jurist nominated by the president. So here you can say one is your prime minister, second is the speaker of the Lok Sabha, leader of opposition or the largest opposition party CGI, or the Supreme Court judge nominated by the CGI, and then there will be a eminent jurist which is nominated by the president. Okay, so that is there. For them there is a search committee as well. So search committee will be looking into the potential candidates, and then they will be giving the list to the selection committee, and selection committee will be deciding on that. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the next one, that is the structure. Structure is the chairperson, and maximum 8 numbers of the, you can say, people will be there as a member. 50% will be judicial members, and 50% will also be from the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, OBC, minorities and women. Okay, so not necessarily that these 50% should be different and these 50% should be different. Overall the composition should be like that, that the out of the total 9 members over here, or you can say, let's say chairperson, if you keep chairperson out of the 8 members, 50% should be there from the judicial capacity, and 50% there will be from the different sections which has been mentioned over here. What is the term of the office? That is 5 years. Okay, so that is about it, and the maximum age is 70 years. So that is about your Lokpal. Coming to the next one, what mineral resources does Ukraine have, and can the USA take them? Now, President over there in USA, that is Donald Trump, he has said that they will be taking the hold of the 50% of the resources of Ukraine, or you can say these rare minerals which are found in Ukraine, because they have given aid to Ukraine. Okay, financial aid has been given to Ukraine. Now, considering that, let's see what kind of reserves, etc., they are having. Ukraine's mineral resources and the USA's interest over here. US President Donald Trump accused Ukraine of reneging the deal regarding the use of the mineral resources. Trump earlier demanded that the 50% of the Ukraine's mineral resources in exchange of the US aid, whatever US aid has been given. So they are saying that in exchange to that, you have to give us the 50% of the Ukraine's mineral resources. Okay. Trump argues that the Ukraine owes nearly 500 billion US dollars for military and the financial aid, and considering that, they should go for the 50% of the resources they should be given to the USA. The US wants compensation in the form of the mineral resources or mineral access. However, Ukraine laws prohibit foreign controls over the subsoil resources. There is a local domestic law which is saying that you cannot have such kind of control over the mineral resources which are there, you can say, subsoil resources. Coming to the next one here, Ukraine's mineral wealth. If we talk about what kind of minerals are there which USA wants from Ukraine, so Ukraine holds critical minerals like lithium, cobalt, titanium, graphite, uranium, beryllium, and the rare earth metals. Now, these are all the metals which are used in the industry. When we talk about the electric vehicles, lithium is used. When we talk about the other stuff like cobalt, titanium, graphite, etc., they are used in the various industries. Uranium is used for the nuclear energy as well. So that is why it becomes important for USA. As well as when we talk about the Russia, why Russia wants to have the hold of Ukraine, that is because of these minerals. So Russia, then USA, then Ukraine itself. So they are, you can say that now their interests are conflicting with each other. Okay, earlier we have seen that the USA has been supporting Ukraine, but now the dynamics are little bit changing. Okay, coming to the next one here, the total estimated value of these resources is 11.5 trillion US dollars. Okay, and they have given the loan of 500 billion US dollars, and they are saying that we should be having the control of 50% of the resources. Okay, so that kind of aspirations USA is having. These minerals are essential for the electronics, clean energy, and the defense industries. Okay, so here you can see these are the areas where these resources are found. Okay, here you can say beryllium, graphite, lithium, titanium, zirconium, non-ferrous metals. When we talk about the nickel, cobalt, and the copper, polymetallic, you can say elements which are like Au, Pb, and Zn. Rare earth metals, iron, manganese, uranium, all these things are found over here in Ukraine. Okay, so that is there about Ukraine and USA. Here you can see what are the major challenges. Why is that, or what are the challenges in front of USA? So here, legal restrictions. Ukraine constitution does not allow foreign ownership of the mineral resources. That is one thing. Lack of clarity. The quantity and the quality of these minerals are not fully surveyed yet. Coming to the next one, EU Ukraine deal. Ukraine already has a mineral extraction agreement with the European Union. So obviously, if USA is saying that we should take the control of that, so that is harming the interest of European Union as well. Okay, that was signed in 2021. Coming to the next one, Russian occupation. A fifth of Ukraine's mineral-rich areas are currently under the Russian control. So that is also limiting the access. So these are some of the challenges which are there with respect to Russia, Ukraine, as well as USA's dynamics. Okay. Now let's move further to the next one. Why Europe donkey route is gaining popularity. Now this article was there from the day before, you can say yesterday's newspaper, sorry, not from day before, yesterday's newspaper. This article was there because you could not come live yesterday, so that is why we are taking this article over here. Donkey route is basically, these are the routes which are taking the illegal immigrants or the migrants from one place to another. Generally, when we talk about the donkey routes, these are associated with the American dream. Okay, people want to go to USA and have their dream fulfilled, or get some kind of livelihood they are pursuing over there. Considering that they want to enter into USA somehow, and they take the illegal routes as well, and these routes are generally called as the donkey routes. When we talk about the traditional donkey route, that is passing through the, say, oceans, and then South America, Southern America, and then when we talk about the Central America, and then they will be entering into the USA. So basically, they will be going to the countries of the Southern America, then going to the Central America, like Panama, etc. So there is this Darien Gap, which is quite popular over there. That is the most dangerous area. So that is also there, and after that they will enter into Mexico, and then they will be entering into USA through some illegal channels. Okay, so that is there. Coming to the recent study, which is saying that people are taking the European route, because when we talk about the Darien Gap route, that is kind of dangerous. So considering that, they are taking the European route. Okay, so here you can see why Europe donkey route is gaining popularity. Many South Asian immigrants, particularly Indians who enters the US illegally, are now opting for a new route through the Europe instead of the traditional South American donkey pathway. Okay, traditional donkey route, if you talk about, typically passes through the South American countries like Brazil, Ecuador, or Colombia, and involves dangerous land travel through the dense forest, including the treacherous Darien Gap in Panama. Now, this particular fact becomes very much important. They can ask you in the examination, what is Darien Gap? Okay, so that is there in Panama. Other than that, also Panama Canal has been in the news because of, you can say, USA has made a comment that they will be taking the control of the Panama back from Panama, and they will be taking the control. So that is why this area has been in the news. Migrants face the risk of assault, exploitation, and the extreme physical hardship in this area of Darien Gap. Okay, now let's see what is the European route now. So migrants secure Schengen visa. Schengen visa, when we talk about the European area, or you can say they are having this treaty that they allowed visa free travel in this particular area. When we talk about specifically EU, okay, European Union, if you talk about, so there is a Schengen area over there, and in that area you will not be requiring any visa. If you are there in a one European country, if you are having visa for the one European country, you can visit the nearby places as well without any visa. Okay, so that is there. Migrants secure Schengen visa for easier movement across the multiple countries. Now they travel to Central America, Nicaragua, El Salvador, or Mexico via Europe. So what they do is that from India or the other South Asian countries, they will be going to the Europe through the Mediterranean route, or otherwise taking flights, etc. They will be going to the Europe, like countries like Serbia. Okay, they will be taking the Schengen visa, and then they will be moving across Europe, and from there they will be taking the water route, and they will go to the South American countries over there. Okay, Central American countries, not South American, Central American country, avoiding the Darien Gap. Okay, so they will be going to Nicaragua or El Salvador or Mexico, and then from there they will be entering into USA. The route is faster, less dangerous, and most of the journey is by air. And control of the agent, if you talk about, so agents are earning a lot of money because they are blackmailing the people, etc., to complete the journey, etc. The route is determined by the human traffickers and not by the migrants. Agent exploit their desperate migrants which want to go to USA. Okay, so this is about the you can say North American route, sorry, the European route and the Southern American route. Okay, so if you talk about the this route over here, that is basically about your traditional route from India. You will be taking flights to countries like Suriname, Guyana, or the Brazil, etc. And then you will be entering through this particular part. That is the Central American part, and then this is Mexico. And this is the most dangerous part. Okay. Here, when we talk about this country, that is your Panama, and in Panama there is this gap that is called as the Darien Gap. Here you can see in this particular image over here. This is the route from your Brazil-like countries. You will be going through these routes, and then you will be entering into the Central America. Now, countries like Nicaragua and Costa Rica, Panama. In Panama, we have a Darien Gap. Okay, so this here you can see, this is your Colombia. Here we have Colombia. Okay, this is Colombia. This is Panama. Here this is Panama, and this is the Darien Gap. Darien Gap is a forest area, or you will be finding the, you can say, kind of various gangs which are also operating in this particular region, so you have to pay to these gangs as well. So all these kind of things you will be seeing in the Darien Gap. And there is no mode of transportation, okay, there is no you can say the roadway or the railway network which are there, you have to cross it, so that is there. Here this is about the Darien Gap, this is about the migrant trail with respect to the traditional donkey route. Now, if we talk about the new route over here from India, you will be going to or taking a flight to countries like Serbia, etc., or you can say Austria, Hungary, or Romania, Italy. These are having citizen visas, so you will be going over there, and from there you will be taking you can say route towards the countries of Central America, which avoiding the you can say Darien Gap, and then you will be going to the Mexico and entering into USA. So that is about the new donkey route in Europe. Now, for your own read, there is this article, why global sea ice cover has dipped to record low. What this means? Now, we have covered this particular, you can say article in our in-depth program. So you can go and watch that particular video. Okay, coming to the next one here. Remission without application. We have discussed this in the previous lecture over here. So you can go and watch this particular issue over there. Otherwise, we'll be covering it into the polity this week as well. So you can watch it over there as well. Okay, we have already covered this particular issue. Now, in the end, we have a practice question. The last time we have given this question, that under which article of the Indian Constitution is the Election Commission of India constituted? That is Article 324. And coming to the today's question, that is, who has the authority to accept or reject a member's resignation in Parliament? The President, Election Commission of India, Speaker, or the Chairman? And in the end, we have Prime Minister. So you have to attempt this question and answer to me in the comment box. With that, I would like to take your leave. I'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a nice day. Thank you. Study well, and please don't forget to subscribe.